So you didn't pass the constant exam again. You are probably feeling deflated, disappointed because you walked into that testing center ready to kill it. You prepared, you studied, you did all of the things, and yet and still you walked out with a sheet of paper with those three daunting words: did not pass. And the part that's probably really messing with your head is that you don't even know why you didn't pass. You, like I said, you did all of the things. Today, I'm going to share with you why most people fail the Illinois teacher licensure exam. I am going to share the exact reasons why, because once you have a name for it, you can fix what is actually going on. By the end of this video, you'll know which one, two, or maybe three reasons why you continue to fail the content exam. So, the very first reason, and this is the most uncommon reason in my experience in working with teachers or pre-service teachers, is that you have a content gap. You are taking the test with deficits in the actual content. So there's some key vocabulary that you may be missing, key objectives that are domain specific that you need to freshen up on. Those are what I call content gaps. Those are the things that you should be learning in your teacher preparation program. And those are the things that many of the resources that are available to you right now cover. So things like resources like 240 Tutoring, Mometrics, study.com, those cover content. And so if you are sitting down and you're taking the exam and you're reading the question and you don't know what specific words mean, especially if those words are specific to your exam or your domain, like something like special education, if you don't know what an IEP is, you probably have a content gap. And so that's something that we'll need to address. The second gap is what I call a strategy gap. And that is you don't know and have never been taught what the ILTS actually measures and how it is actually developed. This exam has a very specific architecture to it. And if you are walking in and taking this exam without knowing what that architecture is, it's like you're walking into a building without a map. Most people know that this exam is split into sub areas. But what most people don't know is that those sub areas are weighted differently. So if you are spending all of your time equally studying each sub area, you are likely missing out on very valuable points because you're not studying those sub areas that are weighted the most. Another common misconception with this exam and its architecture is that you don't have to pass each and every sub area. The ILTS is scored on a scale. So whether you pass each sub area doesn't really matter. What matters is the final score at the end of 240. Knowing those two facts should really shift the way you change your study strategy. Reason number three is the loud one. This is the one that is the most impactful and the one that most people don't talk about. As a matter of fact, I've never really heard anyone talk about this gap. And this is the psychological gap, right? So when you are walking into an exam and your mind starts racing or you just freeze, your mind goes blank, you begin to sweat, your heart races, those are physiological responses to what your brain is actually doing. Baby, you are stressed out. But there is a name for what is actually happening, and it is called the stereotype threat. And it is most prevalent in people of color or any type of minority, and when you are in a high stakes situation. So think about if you're giving a presentation, if you are giving a speech, if you are going in to take an exam that is dependent upon you earning your licensure, that stereotype threat kicks in. And so there are some well-researched and well-documented interventions and strategies that you can use to kind of counteract this stereotype threat. And so we'll talk about that in some later videos. But I want you to be aware of it because it's real. It's something that actually happens, and it really most happens to people of color. And from my experience, when I see people that are unable to pass this exam because it is a regular standardized test, it is mostly people of color. And so my goal is to give you all of the information that you need in order to beat this exam. The final reason that most people fail the Illinois teacher licensure exam is because there is a time and method gap. You are likely a very busy adult. You might have a family, you probably have a full-time job, and so your life is so full that studying for 3 hours is not even possible. You don't have the time, the mental capacity, or the energy for a 3 hour study session. No, your study session or your study strategy needs to fit your life. And so, whether that is a 30-minute burst of studying, whether that is studying on Saturday mornings, whether it is studying before you go to bed, those small little pockets of study skills really increases the retention rate, right? A 3 hour study session is not doesn't help you at all. It's not helping you to increase the knowledge retention. And so making sure that your strategy matches your lifestyle is going to be key. So here's what I want you to do. Before you open up another resource, before you open up another study guide, I want you to take a sheet of paper. And on that sheet of paper, I want you to write down why you failed the exam. Which one of these 4 gaps apply to you? It might be 1, it might be 2, it might be all 4. What are the reasons why you are failing? And that might feel kind of awkward, and that's okay, because as soon as you are able to name it and put it down on paper, you are going to be able to address it. And so that is the very first step. Name it and address it. So make sure you write that down on a sheet of paper so that you, again, can name what is happening to you and you are able to address it. Right now, most people are studying for this exam randomly with no strategy, hoping that something sticks. That's not going to be you no more. Because of this channel, I am going to help you and support you into studying strategically, studying in a way that you are going to be able to pass this exam. Because I, frankly, am tired of watching capable people of color or people in general fail this bureaucratic process that has no bearing and no impact on whether you're going to be a good teacher in a classroom. And so please, 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 if you found this video helpful, if you relate to this video, please subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it with somebody else that might need it, because it is time that we start having these open conversations about what is happening in the field of education. This is just another bureaucratic process, a hurdle that many people have to jump through hoops. You are spending way too much money, way too much time on something that is going to have no impact on your teaching career in 2 years. By the end of your first year of teaching, nobody's going to ask you, hey, what was your score on your content exam? Baby, nobody cares. If you think about it like the ACT, the SAT, once you are in college, nobody cares what score you got. It is just an exam, another, again, hurdle that we have to pass in order to get into the classroom. And there are far too many teachers, capable teachers, competent teachers, or competent pre-service teachers who are deciding, actually, I don't want to do this. I can't pass this exam. Maybe this is not for me. I don't want you to have that mindset. So I want you to make sure you tune in each and every Tuesday when I am going to be dropping a new video, a new strategy on how to help support you pass this constant exam. Until next week, see you later. Bye.